I think you touched on something that I wanted to touch on too, which was the 90s, man. You came up in the 90s doing stand up, man. I feel like that's like a golden era for black comedians for sure. What clubs were popping at that time? Like, what was the hot spots that people were going to? And I want to get to your Fat Tuesdays, but before we get, I want to talk about like when you was starting out, like what was the venues that you was going to start building up your material?
I can't really talk on this too much because it's a huge piece of the documentary I'm currently shooting
Oh,
right now.
got you.
But I can talk enough to where I can paint a picture for you. You know what I'm
Straight
saying?
up.
It was Wakanda.
Nice.
It was motherfucking Wakanda because it was hip hop was, to me, the best era of hip hop was the 90s. Fashion, you know, the economy was great. We had expendable income, and then Def Jam had set the tone and burst this whole new this whole new what I gotta say, human race, a species of black comedians that was unapologetic. So the 90s was like, man, the 90s was that girl you always wanted to bang, and you finally bang her, and it's bomb. It's bomb. The head is bomb. You know what I'm saying? Her titties are bomb. She squirts everything. That's what the 90s were. The 90s was that chick that you always wanted to bone, the pretty brown skin, you know, the perfect body, the soft voice, the perfect teeth, smart and intelligent, and then bam, you hit it, and man, the sex is all there too, and she loving you. That was the 90s, man.
Man,
If I had a time machine, I'd take my black ass back, man.
Man, yeah, I wish. I mean, I was fucking in elementary and middle school at the time, but
Man,
I
I
mean,
ain't have my teeth fixed, and I still was getting old.
Hey, let me see if you okay. Maybe hopefully you could touch on this one. If not, I get it. I wanted to know if there was. I wanted to know like who was a comedian that no one wanted to follow back then. And it don't even have to be the night, but like when you was coming up, if there was like one particular comedian that everybody was like, this is, or who was just a beast that everybody was like, yo, this motherfucker is the truth.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a difficult question because at certain parts of your career, you don't want to. It's good to be fearless. It's also good to be smart too. You know, sometimes you know there's certain people you don't want to come behind. It's just and from what I understand, in the generation before me, or right, you know, entering before I entered, the guy was Bernie Mac. That was a guy that nobody wanted to follow. Now, I'm sure some people would say Robin Harris, you know, when he was hosting. But the guy that I know that I used to hear, that I saw from my own eyes, and I knew personally, it was that guy Bernie Mac. And then also, I mean, T.K. Kirkland was one of those guys too, because you know, because of his subject matter, because it was very R-rated, X-rated, very X-rated. So if you're a certain type of comic, you got to be a special comic to come on after that, and because the mind is already gone to, you know, sex. And then Joe would come out there, fire on the audience, bam, 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 that rapid fire like that. You know what I'm saying? Those guys who are like that, who have that rhythm, you know, you can do it, and I've done it a few times because I want to see how big my balls are. You know, sometimes you gotta set yourself up to fail so you can win. If you think you are that, okay, then go on stage after somebody you think that everybody's scared to follow and see where your chips lie. And I remember I did that with Broadman one time. Broadman from the Fifth Flow.
Right.
Now I had been doing stand-up a little bit longer than him because he had stopped. He had blew up on the Martin show. But as far as name recognition, he was here because he's Broadman from the Fifth Flow. And I was, you know, Joe's little brother still, you know? So, and it's crazy because I used to deliver his script when I was a PA on Martin, which was
Wow.
crazy. So we was in Philly one time and he was the headliner because he had the bigger name. But I knew, man, I knew I had something. And I was like, I asked him, I said, hey man, let me follow you. Let me close. You keep the same money. I'll keep my same feature money. But I just want to see I want to see if I can follow somebody who has a bigger name than me. And you have to do those things sometimes. You got to put yourself in those moments so you can just see how big your balls are. Those are growing moments and moments to where you're like, okay, you know, it gives you a little bit more confidence every time you go. And that's what you want to do every time you're on stage. You want to grow. You don't ever want to take a step backwards. You don't want to take a step forward.
Straight up. Yeah, I had to do that one night. I think it was like a Crack 'em Up Thursdays in the Belly Room at the Comedy Store. They was doing an anniversary show. And I had to go up after, I want to say like Chris Spencer and Tony Rock one night. And I know. I know. And I was like, shit. I'm like, I did it. I killed. I'm not going to lie to you. I beasted. But luckily, I needed that because when I did kill, it gave me the confidence like, oh, okay, like you can be one of the big boys. You know what I'm saying? I think at that time I was like, damn, that's fucking Chris Spencer and Tony Rock. They're fucking legends. You know what I'm saying? I mean, both of them fucking they killers on stage.
Absolutely.
But what to go to what you were saying, once you do it and you like, damn, I was able to like really hold down my own. You know, it give you that certain level of confidence. Like, all right, now I just got to keep even going even harder to get even better and build what I'm trying to do out here comedically.
But it's also the energy of a show. I remember we were in Tampa and you wanted to do a guest spot.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I knew you were funny, and it wasn't that I didn't think I could follow you, but I know your energy is almost like mine. You know what I mean? We both have the same type of. My voice ain't as whiny as yours, but it's a little bit whiny. And we're both animated, and we both have the energy that's like this. And sometimes, you know, I don't like following someone who's almost have the same energy as I do. Like when I used to put shows together for Fat Tuesdays, I had a formula that I used to put different styles together because it's all about styles. You don't want, two motherfuckers on the same show doing impersonations. You know what I'm saying? You want two laid back people on the show. You want levels to a show. So I had a number formula that I taught my bookers how to book a show so the show could be consistent and the climax at the end.